All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Wotakoi, Season 1, Episode 7.
7, yes. Yep. And oh man, last episode was just so sweet.
Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve and umbrellas in the rain and all that good stuff.
And
Data
Naito.
Yep,
Yes.
that's right. And Capedon.
Capedon, that's right.
Well, they take pictures in a frenzy. Yeah. But so what do we have for this next episode? Will we get actual like Christmas Day or New Year's, or will
New
it just
Year's?
sort of skip past all of that, or who knows?
New Year's seems like really ripe potential for like some kind of really like special kind of kind of night or time or something like that.
Also, it would at least be a chance for the four of them to all party and drink way too much alcohol and stuff.
This is true. This is true.
Probably play video games and all that sort of stuff. But here we are.
Yeah. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into it. RPG! Smite me, your darkness. Pretty lame drops.
Yeah.
ご覧のアニメはオタクに恋は難しいで間違いありま
You're not watching the wrong anime! Yeah! That's hilarious!
I love it. Those kinds of messages are very helpful when it's like, okay, no, we're doing something very different for the cold open.
Right.
But don't worry, you're in the right place.
Don't worry, this is the next episode of Haruhi Suzumiya, Yes, you've seen the last episode, and it was the exact same as this one, and the next one, and the next one.
No.
And
Endless
the next
Eight is
one.
not so kind. They let you question reality. I love how giant
最近だいぶレベルが上がってきたな。しゃあ、バシバシ行くぞ。
Yes, his character speaks.
すいいしました先輩どこにいます
Hey.
樺倉先輩お疲れ様です
Wow. Your avatar is adorable.
お疲れ。いや、職場じゃねえんだから。
あつい癖で
かわいい。エルフってことは、クラスはサモナーとかか。
振りが早いのがいいですよねアサシン
いや、クラスもだけど、レベルも結構いかついのな。俺よりやり込んでるよな。こいつはスルーだな。
先輩こっちに薬草いっぱいありますぜ
Oh my god. Please let this be like the majority of the episode.
花ちゃんはまだログインしてないんですか
小柳なら風呂入ってから来るってよ。
Oh my. Forget what I said.
And you called this woman a hag. Lovingly, of course.
Yeah.
花ちゃんってゲームあんまり好きじゃないんだと思ってました
PC だけで遊べるネトゲ聞かれた時は俺も驚いたがあいつ見えて影響受けやすいとか
Hey, oh,
I love
sweet.
hearing his voice coming from that tiny little chibi avatar.
What's she playing?
あら、なるのアバターかわいい
A
わね。
wizard of sorts.
アバターもエロかっこいいよスクショ撮ろうすぐにショットを保存しました
そ
I love
れ
it.
課金コスチュームじ
Oh
ゃ
my god.
大丈夫よ
Totally would.
無課金だから。
ところで二藤は
So they're playing just an
さっき
MMO.
チャットが来てました後で行こうだそうですひろたかってネトゲはあんまり好きじゃないらしくて
Oh.
そうなの？
Really? Yeah.
他人との交流がめんどくさいって
Oh.
あとネトゲのシステムはソロプレイヤーに優しくないからだそうです
ひがみじゃねえのかそれ
でも、
But
なん
now he
だか
has
ん
a
だならば
party.
声かけると来てくれるんだ。
二藤のフォロー入れてやりたいが
World boss.
エネミーだ俺と百瀬は近接光栄が一番レベルの低い小柳一人じゃ次のエリアに進むぞ
でも先輩こんな強敵と戦えるなんてチャンスですよ
Agreed.
羽に目がくらんでるぞ百瀬
ここで逃げるは剣士の名折れ
小柳お前は後ろでとにかく支援魔法だ
なんであんたに指図されなきゃいけないわけ？
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh shit.
こっちと戦ってほしいんですか あのふざけたネタ装備は
Wait!
ひろたか
He has a meme outfit!
Yeah. Wait.
なるみちゃん
No, it's his
No.
brother.
And that's why the arrow did nothing.
Yeah.
兄ちゃんはねアニメの録画予約してくるって言わ
Oh
れた
no, is he playing on
Oh,
his
その人ボス
No.
二富士のキャラだからレベル一番高いぞ。
なおちゃん操作方法わかる
Nope, he does
わ
not.
からないけど頑張ってみるよパンチどれださっきどれをしたっけ
Oh my god.
ですよね。
No, no, you're a ranged person. Don't.
エネミーのタゲがそっちに向
You
く
just threw aggro.
ひろたかじゃなかったなおちゃん
あんな格好悪い二富士見たことねえ。
Watch, he's so powerful that it doesn't even
Yes.
take damage.
薬草なら間違えた自分で食べちゃった
落ち着け百瀬。要はノーダメで倒せばいいんだろ。
できるもんならやってきてよ
Seriously. About to see a pro gamer move right here.
Gates of Babylon with arrows now incoming. Super critical hit stacked, one shot kill.
Wow.
終わった。
I would have loved to see him cast 5 buffs on himself and then fire the arrow. Yeah.
ネトゲは長らくやってなかったけど久しぶりにやると楽しいもんだ
He
な。
took all the loot.
マルチ最
Proportional
高。
to, you know,
今のは俺にもやらせて
make your own
Get your
character.
own.
やだ。
So he's probably level 100 or
Yeah,
something. Yeah.
probably.
今夜は二藤君や後輩たちと飲むって。私たちもご飯食べて帰らない？
あ賛成
今夜は女同士気兼ねなく熱い話ができるわね。
いいね
ビール一つ。
Don't know who they are.
いや別に怒ってねえし。
They're probably literally no
あとタコはさ。てか俺そんなに怒ってるイメージがあるのか？
ああいや
Yes.
そういうんじゃないんすけど顔が怖いんですよ樺倉さんは言えるわけね
顔が怖いんですよ。
There you go.
樺倉さんは。
二富士すげえ
Thank you, buddy.
はいはい。中身は可愛いのに。ってある人が言ってましたよ。
びっくりした
This guy.
二富士って冗談言うんだわかりづれ
乳児それってさ百瀬ちゃん
なるがこの前教えてくれたアニメ見たよ。
アニメどこまで見たの
全部。
何か進めたらサクッと追いついてくれる花ちゃん
オタクだしね。せっかくなるが教えてくれたんだもん。早く語りたいじゃない。
まあいっぱいどうだ
主人公×ライバルかな。
Of course you
逆だわ
やはりか。
A shipping war. Let it begin.
Yeah.
Yes.
組んで笑い合える日って来るのかな
来世あたりで。
Eventually.
In the next world.
幼馴染なんだっけ
は
かわいいじゃんちょっと子供っぽいけど
いつも笑顔で明るくてちょっと天然っぽいけど
I know this.
っていうか
Everyone in the
二藤って
office
どう
has
な
a
の
crush on her, kind of.
やっぱ
Maybe
百瀬さん狙ってたりすんの
あ。ああこいつ苦手なんだよこの手の話題。
二富士ってそんな感じですもんね
なんだ
Oh boy.
クリスマスどうだった
I hear she's got a
別に
boyfriend.
普通だったよ家でチキンとケーキ食べた誰と彼氏と
彼氏いるってよ百瀬ちゃん
Feel bad for you, man, but you know.
そろそろ話題変えてやんねえと。わかりやすい。口止まってんぞ。
He's such a wholesome boy. He's just like, she called me boyfriend. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah.
俺はもっとセクシー系が好みか
Oh
な
no.
Uh-oh.
小柳さんとかさ
Yep. Yep.
あーわかる
わかる。で
どうして私たちい
Oh my god,
つ
that
も推しカップリングだけ逆になるのかな
Sunday thing.
萌え語りは二藤君とやって。
あいつ別に普段子じゃないからね
あのさこの二人って原作で絡みあるっけ？
BL トーク抵抗なさそうだったよ。
樺倉先輩ほど露骨に拒絶はされないけど
ああ俺ジャンプんとこ見てるから BL コーナー回ったら声かけて。
その点花ちゃんは大変だよね。先輩のいるとこで BL 本読めないでしょ。
Who says that?
別に。
Yeah.
たまにわざと見えるように18禁本読んだりするし。
Wow.
セクハラですね
I love it.
それ。
Sexual harassment. The differences in their relationships and stuff. This is cool. Yeah.
彼氏で BL 考えるのに抵抗ある。全然。
Not at all.
かっけ
Yeah.
普通に考えて一択しかないわね。幅広。
Oh my god. That's great.
Wow.
小柳さんって落ち着きがあって上品で大人っぽいし。
実は短期でテンパリ症で下ネタ好きの男子小学生みてえなやつだぞ。
胸でかいじゃん。
あーそれな、そこばっかり見ちゃうよな。
そう。
花ちゃんが好きなのは樺倉先輩でしょ。好きな方がウケでしょ。
顔が綺麗な方が右じゃないと思えない。
それ絶対先輩の前で言っちゃダメだよ。
二藤君でしょうが、彼はウケじゃないの。
私弘隆の顔は別に好みじゃないんだよね。樺倉先輩の方がかっこいいからウケ。
それ樺倉の前で言っちゃダメよ。
Oh my
This
god.
で
revelation.
も小柳さんも彼氏いるって聞いたぜ。
そうだよな、男ならやっぱ小柳さん選ぶでしょ。
How about the game, right?
お前らさ、彼女が欲しいのはよく分かったから、狙うなら彼氏いない子にしとけよ。だから別に怒ってねえって。自分の女の話だったら怒ってたかもな。
Yeah.
わかりやす。やっぱり樺倉さん顔怖え。
樺倉先輩を翻弄する無表情で感情の読めないクールでド S なメガネ攻め、これでしょ。
そんな二藤君の冷め切った心を溶かすのは樺倉の不器用な優しさなのよ。なんだかんだで余裕を見せる年上攻め。
I love that they're having this conversation.
Yeah.
弘隆の方が絵になるって。
背が高い方は逆にウケでしょう。体格的にも説得力が。
Oh, his
絶対弘隆
body.
の方がかっこいいもん。
どう考
And
え
the
ても
debate
樺
is
倉の
out
方が
loud.
上よ。
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
百瀬さんと食事してたの。
and then they
Then they
put their
walk
arms
off
around
arm in
her.
arm.
Yeah, yeah.
どうですかこれからみんなで二次会とか。
帰ってやることがあるの。それじゃまた明日
I
ね。
have to get on top of this man. Yeah.
あの二人仲いいんだな。
全然タイプ違うのにな。
Wow.
Online gaming in their respective nights. All right.
Okay.
All right. Cool. Kind of a fillery episode.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. You know, a
But
lot
all right,
slower,
it's cool.
I love
The
though.
debating of the top and bottom. That's
Yeah,
just, oh.
Hanako, Narumi, just straight up having that conversation at a diner,
Yep.
just in public.
Of course, yeah.
Oh man, I've never had conversations quite like that in public spaces.
Not in
but-
public spaces, no.
But
That's a Discord call kind of conversation.
but I have been in those situations where it's like talking about something and you're invested in the conversation, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, okay, this is public.
Right, so you gotta do that look around, you're like,
Is anybody
Okay,
nearby?
guys.
Like, okay, yeah, this conversation can continue. Or, you know what?
right.
We'll talk about this later.
Oh, now I realize what kind of episode this was. This was the duo skit episode. There were the two skits. We have the gaming skit, and then we have the going out and...
Don't other episodes, though, usually have, like, more than 2 skits?
Not
Like 3 or
always,
4
no.
sometimes?
2 is usually the number for that kind of stuff. Otherwise, it's the kind of thing where there's so many skits that it's just bam, 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 bam. There's like, 5 to 7 of them or something. But that's more of a comedy thing. Like,
こないだ友達とファミレスに行ったんだけどね。
Oh my god. Oh my god. Yes!
あれ
Yes!
なるみちゃんに。
弘隆の方がかっこいいもん。
どう考えても樺倉の方が上よ。
And he doesn't realize what's going on? Yeah!
なんか俺まで嬉しくなっちゃった。
Wow.
それ多分違うな。
he gets it! He gets it!
I love it.
Otaka is
Oh, that's
quite
great.
shocked. Yes.
That's great.
All right. That was cool. All right. Well,
Okay.
we got some little skits, kind of a fillery episode.
Yep.
A little bit of stuff for the online gaming stuff that's in the OP, which was nice.
That was adorable.
Yeah,
Like,
getting to see them in their little chibi, little fantasy outfits and
and
stuff.
the dissonance of hearing these like, super awesome, sexy voices coming from tiny little chibi guy with a sword.
Yeah. Oh, love it.
Love it.
I also loved the idea that Hirotaka's brother kind of came into, I'll play for him, and just doink.
Yep.
Huh, how do I move? What?
Oh no.
Don't know anything about games. WASD? What do you mean?
Right. What button did I press? How do I punch it? You're holding a bow.
I half expected him to jump off the cliff
And
take
then just
fall damage and immediately die.
Right. Yeah.
That was
what I was
that was literally
expecting,
the thing I expected to happen.
Just
In Final Fantasy XIV, there's this thing where you can't take falling damage to death, but it brings you to 1 HP if you take over max. But if you run into a monster immediately after that, they just and you're just dead. So I expected him to like fall, either die from that. But if he did survive it, then the monster immediately turned at him and go. But then they were like, oh wait, no. His character is so strong. Maybe he didn't even take damage from the monster.
Possibly.
Because if it's something where it was too low or too high of a level for Koyanagi, who's apparently level 37, but for a 62 and 84 level player, it's like, ooh, it's a good tough monster.
if we have a good group and we work together,
we have a good composition. We have support magic coming in here. We should be fine. But Hirotaka is just like,
I'm max
oh
level.
no, the breath attack. Oh no.
Right. Although he did make that comment of like, so all I have to do is kill it without taking damage, and then he did his one shot, super arrow thing. And I love the different outfits that they all had and like what it kind of says about their personality, because you've got Kabakura, who's got like I'm a knight, right? Fairly basic gear and all that stuff. You've got Narumi, who's like I'm in the cute outfit, but I'm an assassin, right? I've got my twin curved blades in there.
She's the kind of person that when needing to get crafting materials goes into starter zone and ganks low level players for fun while she's gathering basic crafting materials.
Right. And then you've got Koyanagi, who's like, okay, well, I'm not really into these kinds of games in general, but I want to hang out with my boyfriend and all that stuff, so I get into it a little bit. But if I'm going to be in this game, I'm going to be looking good when I do. So I'm going to spend actual money on like an outfit, be like, yes, here we go.
RMT.
And then Hirotaka's just like, I have like the silly outfit, and that's how you know that he's like totally max level.
Yeah. There's this understanding in MMOs, whether it's like glamour transmogrification or whatever. There's this understanding that once you see the golden fat just ball of meminess running through, you're like, that is a max level player that has put 10,000 hours into this game,
right? Because
they've gone beyond the idea of looking cool. And
I'm gonna look awful.
They just want the others that they kill to have the image burned into their brain of
right.
that like that duck that just ran by and just bonked you with its ridiculous one hit kill macro, like that it just hits button and suddenly 7 things execute
and
perfectly you die.
Yeah. But so just as far as ways to make a skit in which not a lot happens be a lot more interesting, showing them in their chibi-fied adorable MMO avatars, that's great.
It's relatable, it's cute, it's fun, but it doesn't have really anything to do with the plot other than that they are currently on and off playing an MMO together.
Right, which is cool.
Which for a friend group, I highly recommend this if you're dealing with the quarantine kind of situation. MMOs are a really great way to bring people together in a social space where everyone is invested beyond just getting to play together. It's kind of fun in that regard.
And it is definitely something you can spend a lot of time on. So
yes.
There you go.
Yes, and it's also not a player limit kind of thing. Like you can have 20 people playing
sure.
together. You can have 4. Either way it works.
The second skit, So the second skit really had the 2 parts, right? Because you had Narumi and Hanako, and then you had Kabakura and Hirotaka.
Yeah. One of them is way more interesting than the other.
One of them is way more interesting than the other.
It doesn't take much thinking to know which one that is. Yeah.
Nope.
At least to us. Yeah.
Like basically the comedy of the boys, thing revolved around just we're dating them and they don't know.
Yep.
And then there's also that thing of like, oh, you're scary Kabakura, right? Which was kind of nice. And Hirotaka just being like, you have a scary face. And they're like, oh, dude, he actually came out and said it. Whoa.
He's kind of echoing whatever they were saying because they were kind of the social people in this group of 4. And he's not wanting to really say anything that's against what they're saying.
To use the chibi avatar example
Yeah.
to show the reverse of it.
Sure.
In the first, half of the episode, we had a bunch of adorable chibi avatars and stuff to take something that's fairly standard and normal and not necessarily super interesting to make it just fun to watch, right?
Right.
In the guy side of the second skit, because these two people don't matter, they're not named characters or anything, we never see their faces, there were a whole lot of points where we're just staring at something that's not moving, or like the random person that's like listening and then they like adjust or something like that as we listen to someone talk. And one of the voices of the friends sounded
it was to
weird.
It was to show that they were thinking about it as well. That was the primary reason for it, is that they weren't saying this stuff out loud. But yeah, it sounded like they were just swallowing the mic.
Like I don't know what would actually cause that, from like mic recording and all that stuff, right? But it was like, generally you don't want to have the audience be able to like be brought out of break the immersion and have them be like, the audio quality of that one character sounds odd, but
but on the girls' side of things, we got some hilarious talk about BL and specifically around the idea of, well, who do you ship? And the shipping wars that can come about because of the differences in innocuous details. Extremely innocuous
details?
Yeah.
How dare you say such a thing?
Yeah, they are. It's just the base take here.
Who
cares who's the top and the bottom?
You think that if the main character and the rival aren't a good ship, that's a laughing matter?
Yeah, actually is. As someone that regularly has talks with people with regards to this exact thing, we laugh about it constantly.
The shipping or the who's top?
All of it. BL, shipping, who's top, the whole thing. This is like the level of when you're like, okay, we're gonna meme on this show or this cast of characters and stuff, and you're gonna be like, what about this pairing? yeah.
Right.
Like, how does their sex work? Well, it's obviously
this person chokes that person,
and this person, gets the leather out, and like, oh, okay. And this person gets guided along because they're a freaking virgin. I don't know any idea what they're doing.
But then the fact that on top of that, the younger brother then stumbles along and is like,
sees them.
And hears them talking about all this. It's like, wow, that's so sweet.
They're all impassioned about their specific boyfriend.
Talking about their boyfriend and who's best and who comes out on top.
Right.
That's so sweet. No, that's not what
I think you misunderstood.
And I love that Hirotaka doesn't like correct him or anything.
Nope.
He's just like, you might have misunderstood, and he leaves it at that because he doesn't want to taint his younger brother's mind with the reality of the situation. And at the same time, he's absolutely not fazed that conversation happened.
I also love that he's barely even listening to his younger brother. He's playing a game, fighting a boss, mid-boss. It looks like Monster Hunter again. He's just kind of chilling there. Doesn't even look his way, really. He just kind of goes, yeah, that sounds like something else. Like he probably hears like blah 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 blah, best on top, blah blah blah.
Right,
and he's just like yeah. Also, the reveal though that Hirotaka is not like against BL, but he just doesn't have any strong preferences, basically. Whereas these two girls are like fire and ice, like extreme preferences, very specific desires with regards to this stuff. And this is something that, we as otakus can, draw a little bit of wisdom from. Is that it doesn't matter who's on top or bottom. Or
yes, it
whether
does, Caleb.
We can all come together around our mutual love of things like BL or
regardless
MMOs
of who's on top or bottom,
games or what have you.
Hopefully the characters are coming together. Yeah. But one of the other things that I thought was awesome was when Hanako was saying, like, sometimes I'll read R18 yaoi right in front of him on purpose.
I was like, that's sexual harassment.
Right. But the idea that it's like, one, when you're in a relationship with someone for that long and it's like, all right, what are the things that you do kind of for kicks, but also just to have fun teasing them, you know? And then on top of that, the
Right.
idea that they're comfortable enough around each other that he's reading like his like super cutesy like moe manga or whatever, and then she's just like, all right, ooh, and it is left to our own imagination of exactly what was on those pages.
Yeah. On a slightly serious note, I always find it funny though, just a little bit, about the joking about the fetishization of homosexual relationships between men that the women have, but you don't see really that in jokes or comedies with regards to the guys as much,
And that-
even though that's totally a thing.
Well, yeah,
It's
and
totally a thing on both
Wasn't that actually
ways.
brought up of like
Yeah.
it would be weird if it went the other way, right? And it's like, oh yeah, totally. yeah,
And
like,
then yeah.
yeah, right.
Right.
While they're saying that, and they're like, oh my god, like, yeah, so our boyfriends, who would be top and bottom and all that stuff, and why should one be top or bottom? Their boyfriends are meanwhile not even telling these other coworkers that they're in a relationship.
Yep.
It's just like, oh, and the coworkers are even talking about how they want to get with their girlfriends, and they're just like,
You know, you should
Yeah.
probably
You know, you
not
should-
talk about them like
right,
that.
because they're in a relationship, and if I was her boyfriend,
I would be mad.
I would be mad, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's just something that's interesting because I do find it in some ways it's a bit of a creepy thing with regards to the fetishization of it because, well, these girls happen to be, well, at the very least, not homosexual. So I find it
Yeah.
I just find it a little bit you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in general, I
Girl
do
talk
find,
gets cray cray.
yeah. But I do find it also funny because I have had conversations like this with women where it's just like, oh, we're talking about like these fictional characters and stuff, and then it's like
two male
would
characters in
peg
a
who,
series,
you know?
right, two male characters in a series, like share a sidelong glance. Oh, they're fucking regularly.
I've had
passionately.
so many conversations about Iwaizumi and Oikawa and how they're just legitimately just one of the best relationships in Haikyuu. And it's true though. In terms of screen time to like, you know, real relationship kind of stuff, it's like Hinata and Kageyama are like the only other ones really that rival that. Like,
How did we get here?
I mean, this is what the show brought up. It's
Yeah,
just, like,
it's true. That's true.
interesting to talk about.
But hey, that's how you know your relationship is real.
True.
Is when your
True.
girlfriend starts talking about fighting
Fictional
for
pairings.
fighting for your supremacy.
Yes.
in
fictional pairings.
in fictional pairings with another real person.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's love, bitch. You know.
Yeah.
What is the sideways high five? That's love, bitch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb,
I'm Jacob.
and we'll see you all
Next time.